Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Nicole Papay here just after 8 o'clock this Sunday morning. Hopefully you've had a good night and a good weekend so far. I'm going to give you a quick update on what's happening with our forecast because as you can see, the cold front's on the way and it's bringing a line of storms into the mountains. It's just barely beginning, but if you are on those Tennessee line edges, you're starting to see some heavier rain. Graham County and Swain County likely hearing some rumbles of thunder along with this. We don't at this point have any severe weather active right now, but we do have a threat for flash flooding today, especially in the mountains. And we do have a threat for some severe weather today as well. So as this front comes through, it's not going to be an all-day event. The mountains are mainly going to get impacted this morning. The upstate will mainly get impacted in the afternoon. So we're going to watch all of this coming through. It's going to take a while. I'll take you through it, though, hour by hour. Here's a look at our severe weather risk. It's that slight risk in that yellow zone, and it covers our entire area. And while it doesn't mean that severe weather is fully likely, it does mean that we have an elevated threat compared to a normal thunderstorm day. So we are watching this very, very closely. We've had a severe weather risk really almost constantly with storms that have been coming through over the last week. These days, our atmosphere is just primed and ready for storms to come through. So this is what we're going to watch going through today. Your severe weather threats today are fairly high, moderate at least, elevated for strong wind, damaging wind, and flooding. Those are our main threats. Hail can't be ruled out today. So we've seen some of that in the last couple of days when storms have come through. That's still a possibility. The tornado risk is fairly low, and it's mainly to the east of the mountains. But we can't rule it out completely. Anytime we've got an atmosphere that's primed and ready like this, we will continue to watch for a low end, but a slight tornado concern, like I mentioned, east of the mountains. So while anyone in this risk zone could see a brief tornado today, the National Weather Service latest update from this morning says that their very, very in-depth look at atmospheric conditions shows that east of the mountains into areas closer to I-77 east of McDowell County and into the Charlotte area have a potential today that's a little bit more so for a tornado threat than what we would have. But again, we cannot rule it out. So watching that very closely. Here's another quick look at some of those threats for your Sunday. Flooding and wind are our strongest concerns. Hail is a small concern, and then tornadoes can't be ruled out. We do have a flash flood watch. It goes until 8 o'clock this evening for basically all of our mountains. These are areas where flash flooding is most likely to happen today because of the amount of rain we've seen over the last few days. I mean, just earlier this week, I believe it was Thursday, with all of that rain and storm activity, Thursday into Friday, really, we had that kind of day and a half storm system come through. Asheville set record rainfall, around 3 inches, a little over 3 inches. It was incredible to see just one day's rain come in that high. So obviously the streams, the creeks, the rivers, they're already elevated in levels. So through this evening, until this storm system really moves out, we're going to watch for this flash flooding, especially in the mountains. Now, we could see an isolated area of ponding on roads in the upstate, northeast Georgia. Can't rule that out, but it's not going to be as significant for flash flooding here. The front should actually move through fairly quickly, so hopefully that will help. But I do want to take you through all of this hour by hour. Now, of course, I'm going to get back into our system real quick. I'm going to do a little adjustment here. As it's not starting until about 1 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to push it back to start this morning. This way we can get a good look. I should have done this before I jumped on here. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, 7 a.m. and let's go through 10 o'clock tonight. I think, well, let's go through tomorrow so you can see how it's going to clear. I like to show that too. When we have a stormy day coming, I always like to show when it's going to clear. So here we go. 7 o'clock this morning, of course, that's about an hour ago. So we'll push this forward. Here we go, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the storms begin to push into those mountain lines. It's exactly what's expected to see, and this morning, that's exactly what's already happening. So we're getting a pretty good view here from Futurecast. We'll push this up to about 11 o'clock. Look at that. The mountains really start to get intense there as far as some of the stronger storms that are going to come through. Midday, it's pushing from the mountains into the upstate. Now, the upstate really has more of a risk into the early afternoon because of the warmth that will start to build today. Of course, it's already pretty cloudy out there, which is good news. But any peak of sun you see this morning will actually encourage the storms to get a little stronger. So if in your particular town you're seeing a little pop of sun, especially to the south and east, Union, Gaffney, possibly to Lawrence and Newberry, I know it shows a lot of cloud cover here, but there might be a brief break in the clouds. If that happens around you, just be cautious today when the storms come, because any extra heating will allow the storms to get a little bit stronger. Here we'll go. Push this into the afternoon. It actually looks like it's going to break apart a little bit on Futurecast, but those southern counties hold on to some of the stronger weather. And again, that happens when the heating of the day starts to get a little bit stronger. So there is some good news here in that the mountains may squeeze out some of the early morning storms. That's the flood threat will be higher, but the severe risk will be lower in the morning. So mountains, you might be a little bit better off with that at least. If the storms break down over the mountains, it'll push into the upstate and revamp a little bit. But look at this. Once this front comes through, there we go. Monday morning, 4 a.m., nice and clear. And we're actually going to stay pretty much clear all through your Monday. So it's going to be gorgeous. There it is. All the way through 3 p.m. Monday, not a cloud in the sky. So we're going to get some pretty good conditions when it comes to that. Into your Monday morning. So there's better weather there. I'm going to save this, and I do want to get one more quick view for you if I can. I'll see if I can find it. I'm using Bob's workspace because this is the last one that was open last night. So he doesn't have everything that I have because of course I work in the mornings. So I'm going to just check one more thing here. Looks pretty good. So let's get back to our actual radar and what things are going on right now. These are those storms that we were talking about. They're already beginning to push into the mountains. They are not at severe threat levels this morning, but the flood threat is fairly high in the mountains. There's a flash flood watch that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. So anywhere in these mountains, just be cautious driving around today until you get really a good view of how the waterways are handling draining a lot of this water. Again, there is a slight risk of severe weather in the upstate mountains and northeast Georgia today. The risks, again, are elevated compared to a normal thunderstorm day. They're about a 2 out of 5 on the risk scale. But I'll tell you, folks, anytime we even have this marginal risk, which we're above that today, we do tend to see at least some strong thunderstorms to severe weather coming through. So a lot still to watch for today. Our weather team will be on this for you, which is good. We're going to keep tag teaming, everyone kind of taking a couple different hours of the day to make sure that all the way through this storm system, you are set to go. I'm going to check just one more quick thing. Our National Weather Service chat room is up this morning, and we do continue showing really nothing going on as far as active warnings. So that's some good news too. We'll keep watching all of this and let you know if any actual active warnings pop up. For now, flash flooding is the concern this morning. It's for western North Carolina. It does go all the way until this evening. Sorry, it takes a minute to load here when I work from home. Remoting into the system, so everything has an extra step to load before we get it up and running for you. So sorry about that. But yeah, flash flooding is a concern this morning to early afternoon in the mountains, and then the severe weather risk again grows for the upstate into the second half of the day. So let's see. I want to talk to you each. Let's see, I'm getting a couple questions here. Thank you all for watching. Alicia, I feel you. You love it when it rains and you have no plans. Totally love that too. Good to kind of just tuck in when all that happens. Let's see, everyone. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks everybody for joining us here on this Facebook Live. Just want to get through any of these comments to make sure no one's asking specific things. So good to see you all joining us here this morning. Yeah, Tennessee, we're getting some questions out of Tennessee. Definitely, strong storms coming through Tennessee now, but it's actually already clearing for central Tennessee. East Tennessee, you're kind of dealing with these storms right now, and that's right along that North Carolina and Tennessee. Let me get that front out of the way. That's from yesterday. So areas like Knoxville, Chattanooga, you're kind of done with the worst of it. It's just going to rain for maybe another couple hours for you. Then it's pushing into our area. So we're watching it here. Tennessee is almost in the clear, but you might have some flood concern that continues. I know people are talking about how we've had enough of this rain. I know it's true. Amanda asking about Greer. Greer is going to have maybe some spotty showers between now and about late morning, and then the storms are going to start building in to places like the northern upstate, including Greer, into the midday hours, early afternoon. Our latest computer model did show that it breaks down a little bit over the mountains and then kind of revamps with the stronger weather in the southern upstate. So not that we want it for anybody, but the less risk we can get through the central areas, the well-populated areas of the upstate, the better. So that would be some good news, but we can't rule it out. Again, for the Greer area, for all of our region, we do have that slight risk for severe weather. This Facebook Live will be posted to our Facebook page, so if you are just joining us and you missed it, you can watch it again. It'll post about a minute after I'm done, and it'll load onto our Facebook page and live there. So there you go. You can always join in again and watch if you want more of those details. Our weather team will continue to update you through the morning, so hopefully you can keep joining us here on Facebook Live. We look forward to having you with us, and I will see you guys all in a little while. Thanks.